Hello, and welcome to How Can We Best Manage the Children? Or, how do we do guidance? Because guiding children's behavior is a huge part of our job. Running this center is helping the staff manage the children's behavior and helping the children manage their own behavior. This is one of the most important things. And you can tell that by the fact that it is one of the largest chapters we've got. It's like 15 pages or something. And the reason for that is that guiding their behavior often becomes your job, even though it shouldn't be the director's job. So in this video, we're going to talk the real tea. The staff aren't here. They're not going to hear it. This is just between you and me, just you and me. Here's the thing. If the children are ending up in your office because of behavior problems in the classroom, then your staff need more training. It is not a good use of the school's resources for you to be managing the children's behavior in your office. Your staff need to be handling that in their classroom. And if they need support, they need to be asking you to come in and do an observation in the classroom. When a child comes into your office because of behavior, it means that the child has gotten one of the things that they might want for negative behavior. And we are reinforcing the negative behavior because this child is getting one-on-one adult interaction, which is one of the things that children are looking for when they do attention-seeking behavior. That means that your teachers are not connecting with the kids. All of the tools that are in the book about guiding behavior, we use as managers to guide our staff's behavior. So if you've got a child who is always coming into your office, then that is a sign that that teacher is reaching out for help. All behavior is communication. I don't know who said that originally, but it is so true. All behavior is communication. It's your job to figure out what they're trying to communicate as the leader of that group of humans. So if we're not leading the kids, we're leading the teachers. So what is your teacher trying to communicate when they send a kid to your office? They're trying to communicate that I am overwhelmed, or I need you to disenroll this child. Well, you're not going to disenroll a child just because they're having a few behavior problems. Usually if a child is disenrolled, you're disenrolling because the parents aren't working with you to resolve this issue. So if you have teachers who are overwhelmed and need additional support, then you need to take the child back to the classroom and offer that additional support in the classroom. When everything is de-escalated, when that staff person can breathe a little bit, you need to ask them what's going on, what kind of support do they need. Don't ask them in the moment when you bring the kid back to the classroom. Ask them later in the day. What's going on? What support do you need? How can we help? And you need to get them to use the prefrontal cortex, the front part of their brain. And they can't do that when they're in the reactionary mode that they have sent the child to your office. They cannot think at that time. They're toddlers at that point. They're not making rational decisions. But later on, we ask them questions like, what causes this behavior that's a problem for you? Is this happening mostly when the child is hungry or tired or during transitions? Like, we have to help them figure out what is causing the behavior. You don't have to know. You don't have to know. You have to help them figure out what is causing the behavior. Ask them leading questions. Ask them, what have you tried? I've tried everything. Really? You tried having him do handstands on the table and even that didn't work? Give them an extreme example when somebody says, I tried everything. The kid doing headstands on the table is an extreme example, and I bet you they didn't try it. So they haven't tried everything. And then we go back and we say, okay, what are 3 tactics you've tried with this child and what were the results? Did you try each of them for at least 3 days? Because it takes 3 days for a behavior modification to take, if it's going to take. If they tried it for 45 minutes and it didn't work, that doesn't count as actually trying. They need to do it for 3 days, not 45 minutes. Okay, so we need to get them to think through what could be causing the behavior. And if they say, oh, he's just trying to get a rise out of me, honey, you're not that important. The kids are not trying to get a rise out of the teacher. The kids are trying to meet their needs. They're trying to communicate what is going on with them. They don't care about the teachers enough to try to get a rise out of them or irritate them or whatever. That's not a real answer. What is going on with the child? What is the child trying to communicate? Help them figure out possible things the child could be trying to communicate. It's too loud in here. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I don't want to do this activity. You're always bossing me around. My underwear is on backwards. Like, there's so many things the kids could be trying to communicate with their behavior, and none of it is that they're trying to irritate the teacher or, manipulate the teacher. So what are the things behind the behavior? Help them to look at it from a different perspective. A lot of times when you ask those questions, like, has anything changed in the child's personal home life this week? And they go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dad is is out of town visiting his parents. Do you think maybe that's why this child is acting up? I guess that could be part of what's going on. Yeah. So by asking the leading questions, you're going to help the staff member figure out what's going on and resolve the situation. Sometimes you can't. And what you have to do in that situation is you go in and do some observations in the classroom and see if you can figure out the triggers. And if you can't do it and the teacher can't do it, maybe you have to hire somebody to come in from outside to do that observation to figure out what's going on with that kid, because that child is trying to communicate and we need to figure out why so that we can help them better integrate with the rest of the class. So that was our secret talk. Shh. None of the staff need to know that we're using all of these guidance techniques that we learned for the kids, and we're going to use them on the staff. And one of those techniques is that we don't ask them to think about why they did something or why something is happening while they're all frustrated and wound up. We're going to wait until they're calmed down and they can use that part of their brain. Okay. I'll see you in another video.